Hey everybody, Rusty here with Rusty Vintage Cards. Welcome to the Dodgers episode of this Going Deep series. You know, the Dodgers franchise, it's a long history and a very storied history, and I'm just really looking forward to diving into this. And with me, as always, is Jay Average Vintage Collector. Jay, what do you think about this episode?
I'm excited. There's a lot of history here. We did the White Sox last time. There was a lot of history there, but it just seems like
Right,
there's even more history here. And
right.
I don't want to say that there's better players, but there's a lot more iconic players for sure.
Right. Yeah, I didn't fully realize that until I started digging into this and pulling a few cards. And yeah, it's a long history of a lot of great
I don't
players.
want any White Sox fans to just shut off the stream now that I just offended
Right,
them completely.
right.
So I apologize.
Um, well, let's see here. So, if you are not familiar with the series, we invite a collector of this team. So we'll do a deep dive on a baseball team franchise. Invite the collector, let them share their collection of cards, memorabilia, whatever they might have. And we have a good one lined up for this episode, as you may have seen from the thumbnail. So, Jay, I'll let you introduce our
Yep,
guest.
we're gonna welcome Mark from Mark's Dodgers Cards. He is our resident
Oh,
Dodgers
hang,
expert.
oops, hang on,
All right,
wrong
wrong
one.
one.
There we go.
There he is. There's Mark.
Hey y'all, good to
Hey,
be
Mark.
here.
What's up, Mark?
How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for having me. I'm really
Hey,
excited
thanks for coming
to
on.
talk some Dodgers with y'all.
So are we.
Awesome.
You want to
Happy to have you.
tell us a little bit about your channel?
Yeah, so my channel, Mark's Dodgers Cards, I started it about 3 months before the National last year. And yeah, I just wanted to connect with other people in the community and share my collection. And it's been a blast, a lot of fun. Got to connect with a lot of great people, including you all. And yeah, I refocused my collection maybe like 4 years ago to focus mostly on Dodgers cards. Dodgers is my main team, my number one team. I grew up in Los Angeles. This moment here, poster from the 1988 World Series, one of my favorite childhood memories. So yeah, I decided to focus on the team that I follow and root for. So yeah, that's my channel.
Awesome. Awesome. All right.
All right. Let's see here. Can you guys see that?
Yep, we got it.
Okay. There we go.
I'm gonna
All right.
refer to my notes here and do a little bit of history on the team. All right. So, Brooklyn Baseball Club moved into the Old American Association in 1884, which was part of the major leagues. The team's been known as several teams by several team names in the coming decades, including the Brooklyn Baseball Club, the Brooklyn Atlantics, the Brooklyn Grays, the Brooklyn Robins, the Brooklyn Bridegrooms, the Brooklyn Superbas, and the Brooklyn Trolley Dodgers, and then eventually the Los Angeles Dodgers.
It's a lot
In
of names.
I'm sorry.
That's a lot of names.
That is a lot of names. In 1890, the team transferred from the American Association to the National League. In 1933, we see the first time that the word Dodgers is used on the uniform. And in 1958, they make the move to Los Angeles. That was their first year playing in LA. They've won 26 pennants, one with the American Association in 1889, and then 25 in the National League, as well as 8 World Series wins in 1955, 59, 63, 65, 81, 88, 2020, and 2024. Um, the term the Trolley Dodgers was attached to the Brooklyn Ball Club due to heavy construction of electric trolley tracks in front of Eastern Park, causing fans to dodge the trolleys to reach the park. Those fans became known as Trolley Dodgers, and then the name was eventually shortened to just the Dodgers. We got one more tidbit of information. I'm sure there's a lot more, but we just picked out a few. Brooklyn fielded a team as early as 1849. Charles Byrne, president of the Brooklyn Club, which started in the Interstate League and moved into the American Association, built Washington Park on the approximate site where George Washington's Continental Army had fought the Battle of Long Island. So that is going deep with the Brooklyn/Los Angeles Dodgers.
Mark, does that sound right? Is there anything we need to correct on that?
Not that
It's a
I
lot
know,
of
but
information.
I learned some things too in that little introduction. So thank
Okay.
you for that, Jay.
Perfect. All right, we're all learning.
Here, let me switch this up. There we go. So yeah, we can dive into to whatever you want to get into, Mark.
Yeah.
And I believe we discussed. I think we're going to start off kind of like the last episode with starting with the early days and then moving forward.
Yeah, so I'm
Good plan.
mostly a baseball card collector. And I have a little bit of memorabilia, but not too much. But what I thought I'd do is sort of start in the pre-war tobacco cards, and then work our way through to the golden era and a little bit in the 70s and 80s.
All right.
So I
Sounds
thought a
good.
good place to start would be the Dodgers' first real superstar. Now, Willie Keeler played for the Dodgers. He's a Hall of Famer. He played for the Dodgers, or whatever the team was called then, in Brooklyn. in
Right.
But I don't have a card of his. He actually went into the Hall of Fame. I believe he's got a Brooklyn hat in his Hall of Fame plaque. But I have not been able to acquire a Brooklyn card of his because his T206 and his kind of more common issues. He's in other teams, and I'm really trying to get people when they're in their Brooklyn uniform. So I don't have him.
Okay.
But the first, and he played also with multiple teams. The first Dodgers superstar that played almost all his career with the Dodgers is Zach Wheat, and that's been a big focus of my collection the last several years, because he still is the Dodgers' all-time leader in most offensive or many offensive categories: singles, doubles, triples, total bases, and he's also up there in other categories as well. So I'll show a few cards from him. This is his rookie card,
Great.
the
Here, let me
T206.
switch modes here.
Should I stop?
Sorry, having
That's
some
okay. You're all good.
technical difficulties here.
There we
There
go.
we go.
All right. So here's his T206, his rookie card. It's a Piedmont back.
Nice.
This is an interesting one. This is Whitmore Candy. This is kind of like the American Caramel, but it's just got a different back. But this one happens to be a Pop 1 in PSA.
Wow.
So that's there's that, and this is the back.
Is that a recent pickup that you got, or have you had that one?
Within the last 2 years? And then I like his exhibits cards. They're pretty cool. This is the 1921 exhibit.
That's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're like
Those
really great
21s are so
photographs,
cool.
Yeah.
Right.
And this is the 1925. Now,
Really?
the interesting thing about Zach Wheat, in addition to his accomplishments on the field, was that he also played a role in bringing someone else very important into baseball, and that is Casey Stengel. He recommended to a scout or a manager, something, I can't remember exactly how, but he recommended that they check out Casey Stengel. And then Casey Stengel ended up getting onto the Brooklyn as well. And they're both in this beautiful Fatima team card. I believe Casey Stengel is on the top row, second from the right. Anyway.
That's awesome. I'm going to get one of those one of these days. I'm going to get one of those Fatima cards.
Yeah, those are really cool. I mean, there's like all the different teams are awesome. And then here's a picture of Casey Stengel with a Brooklyn. This is a strip card with a Brooklyn hat, but this is after he was no longer on the team. You could see the team they list as Pittsburgh, but he still has his Brooklyn hat. So I decided to get this one.
Okay, that still counts.
That still counts.
Right.
Another, I'd say, like early era Dodger that a lot of people don't know about this guy, but Daubert, Jack Daubert. He, I believe this is the right one. He this is a nice one. I think he won the MVP in 1913, I think. Another player from that era is Knapp Rucker. Rucker was a pitcher. He pitched for about 10 years for the Dodgers, and he was pretty good. He was like a I mean, there's some people like Brian at Hodges 1455 think he should be in the Hall of Fame. I don't think he's quite at that level, but he was a very solid pitcher for about a decade with Brooklyn. And I've got a couple of cards to show you from that. His 1914 Cracker Jack.
That's
yeah,
a great
To
card.
go with his
I always love the
1915
Cracker
Cracker
Jacks.
Jack.
Wow,
So we got
that's
the twins.
cool.
That's awesome.
And you could see the difference because the 1914 is correctly oriented and the 1915 is upside down. The 1914, this one was a pickup at the National last year. And I got it raw and I submitted to SGC at the show.
Oh,
so that was
so the 1914s. Those, correct me if I'm wrong, those were included in the Cracker Jack packages, right?
Yeah. So I believe they were both included in the Cracker Jack packages, but in 1915 you could also send away for them.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
you could get them without the staining on them. And the 1914s, it's pretty miraculous if you find them without Cracker Jack staining because they're coming in the package.
I didn't notice too much staining on the one you have on the 1914.
No, it's pretty nice, but you can see there's a little bit of stuff down there.
Yeah, I see it. That's character for those cards.
That is definitely character.
Sorry about the barking, guys. It's someone just rang my doorbell.
No, you're all good.
Yeah, good.
So you talked about the Brooklyn being called many things, including the Robins. And that was because of manager Wilbert Robinson. So I got a card of his here.
Wow.
Okay.
And this is a blank back strip card. And then another player who I would like to highlight, who played in the 20s. And now there's a couple players I wanted to mention who were pitchers who played in the 20s. Now the Dodgers in the 20s and 30s were pretty terrible. If you look at they were in the World Series in I think 1920, but then after that they had a very long drought where they were pretty bad. But they did have two two Hall of Fame pitchers. One is Burley Grimes, who was the last pitcher to pitch a legal spitball. He was grandfathered in. And this is the Oxford Confectionery. This is, I guess you could consider this his rookie card, which I find really fascinating because he's batting and he's a pitcher.
Right.
I love cards like that. And then here's the back. And then here's just one other example of Burley Grimes.
Okay.
Wow.
I don't know if they really did him justice in this one, but we'll see.
Yeah, some of those hand cuts, those strip cards, some of them are strange looking.
And then totally. And then another pitcher that was with the Dodgers during this time in the 20s is Dazzy Vance. And Dazzy Vance, I believe, is a very underrated pitcher. He was a Hall of Famer, but he kind of got a late start. He started actually really early, and then he got injured, and then he kind of came back with Brooklyn. And this is, I guess, one of the cards that's considered his rookie card. This is a Universal Toy
that's cool.
card. It was like they made the New York sets there. So that's that. They're blank backs. But he had a string of seasons. I think he led the league in strikeouts like 7 times. He led the league in ERA like 2 or 3 times. In 1924, he won the pitching Triple Crown, got the MVP. He had a string of seasons, about 7 seasons, where he had above 10 WAR twice. Wow. And his WAR during that set of years kind of rivals the average WAR that Koufax had during his big run in the 60s. And I feel he's like sort of a little forgotten and underappreciated. Here's another one.
Very cool.
Show a couple more Dazzy Vance cards.
Man, they're just in amazing shape.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, I
really like this set.
Right.
And then this one, you got your microscopes out, fellas?
Oh, yeah. Is that the chocolates?
Yeah, the Beggar chocolates. I think these are like the smallest cards.
Yeah, those.
Awesome.
Yeah, they're cool.
But
they're very small.
Yeah. So that's like kind of my really early, there's one other player I wanted to highlight. And there's another player that I kind of feel like maybe a little bit forgotten, but this guy, Babe Herman, he hit 390 something one year and followed it with a 380 something the next year. and he
Wow.
was, it was a time when other players were hitting, 400 or whatnot. So he didn't win the MVP either year.
That's
Um,
amazing.
but he was a great hitter, and he was also famous, along with Dazzy Vance, for being involved in this ridiculous play where they got 3 outs at third base, where there was a player at third base who was running home, and he got in a rundown between home and third. Dazzy Vance was on second and went to third, and Babe Herman wasn't paying attention to what the heck was going on. He just ran and ran and ran and got to third, and they got all 3 players out. So anyway,
Wow.
that's kind
Set
of
some records there.
yeah. And then of course I don't know what year this happened, but I just got, these are older cards, but I mean newer, more recent cards. But this is Babe Ruth as a coach. I don't know what year that's from. I mean, it does a 62 card, but I don't know what year he coached.
Right.
But anyway,
Okay.
I got the Venezuela and the regular one.
Oh,
Wow.
nice. Both versions.
Yeah. So that's my pre-1930s.
Jay, you
No,
you have anything in that?
I don't have
era?
anything. I think the earliest card that I might have over here is probably 52.
All right.
Yeah,
Well, I'll just show
52.
you a few things from the 30s because my collection's not. I got a few nice things, but my collection's not very deep in the 30s. And then we're just going to roll into the 40s and the golden era because that's what everybody knows about and everybody's collecting, everybody loves. So here's a few.
It's a good era for the Dodgers. Yeah, the only one I have, you've already shown
You
it.
got something, right?
It's the Burley Grimes. You already showed it, and yours is in better condition. So
Which
I'm
one do you
just gonna
have?
let.
Oh, you've got the Oxford Confectionery too. Yeah, I remember you
Yeah,
picked that one up. That's awesome.
but mine has a hole in it. I'll just show that. I've seen quite a few of these cards with holes like this, and I'd be curious. I mean, I've heard possibilities of what that was for, maybe redeeming at games or
Huh.
redeeming this, with the vendor for something. I don't know the exact answer, but I've seen quite a few of these confectionery like cards that have holes punched in them like that. So
That's
anyway,
interesting. Yeah, I
I
love
thought
that.
it was for a redemption, but I can't remember if it was when you. I can't remember. I don't want to assume, but I'm almost 100% positive it was a redemption of some sort.
yeah, I've heard some other possible theories with that, but yeah, I'm curious about it.
Yeah,
But I guess
no.
we can dive into the next era.
Yeah, well, just a few. I just got a few from the 30s.
40s, 30s.
The
Yep.
30s I'll show. Hack Wilson played a very tiny amount of time with the Dodgers, but I do have 2 of his cards. Of
Oh
course.
man,
Oh yeah,
that's the monster one right there.
Yeah,
that is.
this was my big pickup from the National last year.
That's
I
awesome.
I traded a bunch of like 1960s and 70s Hall of Fame cards and some money for this one.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah, that card. It's a great card. He looks like kind of like a caricature of
yeah.
himself. The way that
Yeah,
they drew him in that. That's
and I really like it
an
because it
interesting
goes with
card.
this one, which is the batter up from
Okay.
1934, and you could see that they did a pretty good job drawing him.
Yeah.
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 I think. And then just one more. Here's another Hall of Famer that spent just a little bit of time on the Dodgers, Freddie Lindstrom.
Okay.
Really
And then
nice.
the last one is a guy who went into the Hall of Fame with the Dodgers as a Dodger, I believe, and that is Leo DeRocher.
Yeah.
Nice. 39 play ball.
Yeah, that's a 39 play ball, and that is my 30s. I told you I don't have much from there.
Yeah, that's all right. That's always. Is there? I guess is it on purpose or is it just one of those things where it just hasn't fallen that way for you?
Well, I feel like there's yeah, I just haven't like really gone into the deep into Gaudis and all that. And I started collecting with the golden era, and then I kind of went all the way back to the tobacco cards and like the early. And so I'm just sort of haven't filled in the middle yet.
Well, you got plenty of time
I got
now.
plenty of time. I mean, I would love to get every Dodger card in existence, so I'll never do that. So it's a never-ending project.
Well, you were also mentioning that during that time period, there weren't a lot of great teams, right?
Yeah, they were pretty terrible during the kind of 20s and 30s. So Yeah. Well,
Well,
Cool.
where should we go now, fellas?
Wherever you want to
Um,
steer us there,
We
Mark.
could start
Yeah.
with somebody who kind of bridges the gap from the 40s to the
there you
50s.
go.
Yeah, sounds good.
Let's start with Pee Wee Reese.
Awesome.
And
Awesome.
of course, Pee Wee
Yeah.
Reese is, longtime Dodger. He played I don't know how many years, close to 20 years, I guess, with the Dodgers. This is his double play, and it's a much less expensive rookie alternative to the play ball, which I have not gotten yet. And of course, he's instrumental in the welcoming of Jackie Robinson and his
Mhm.
whole story. So I like to start there. And for Pee Wee Reese, I'll just show a couple other cards of his. We got here we go, 56 tops.
Yeah. It's a great image.
I love this one. The 54 Bowman. I think it's an
Oh,
underrated
yeah, that's a
set.
good one.
I think this whole
Yeah.
set's underrated. I think it's a beautiful set.
Yeah.
That's a nice copy too.
Um, I'll show this one. How can I not?
Oh, that's the iconic one, right?
Bowman
Wow.
color. Yeah.
Beautiful.
In a 4.5. That's
Yeah.
not a small card.
No, this is one of my most valuable cards.
That's
I've
awesome.
never spent over $1,000 on a card, so everything I've gotten is on.
All right.
That's one of the most I've spent on a card though, and then for sure. And then I'm going to show this one because this is from my favorite set, 1958 tops.
Yeah.
And this was my first passion project before I started focusing on Dodgers, was to complete the 58 top set. So there's Pee Wee Reese.
Really?
Let's see, where do I go? And then of course, like if we're gonna do Pee Wee Reese, we should do Jackie Robinson. Now I don't have a lot of Jackie Robinson cards. His cards are very expensive, and I sort of have just sort of like gone to other things. Eventually I will go ahead and get the Jackie Robinson cards, but I do have this one, 1956.
It's a good one to have.
Great
Yeah.
card. Yeah.
And then I have I guess you call this a third year Jackie Robinson, but it's not really. It's the Topps team card, but he's on it.
Very cool.
It's a 51 Topps team, but that's got everybody on it who is on that team.
That's great.
How are those very expensive? I have not researched those at all. Like I see them every now and
They're not like kind of for what it is. Like I think it's like super cool because it's like I said, like third year Jackie Robinson. You got like all these iconic players on it. It has a great back where it lists everybody who's on it. You
then.
can
Okay.
see all
Yeah,
their
that's
names
cool.
and everything. But I think it's like maybe a couple $100, something like that.
Wow, that's really reasonable.
So I thought they're very reasonable. The best deal you can get on a Jackie Robinson card is the 1957 Topps team card. You probably get that for like $20 and you get a Jackie Robinson. So
Yeah, that's a good deal
yeah,
for Jackie.
definitely.
You want to keep going with the 50s? I would have one card to show for what you've shown so far.
I'm happy to
But
keep going, however you all want to do it. Here's a couple more Pee Wee Reese cards. These are exhibits. One with the ball
Nice.
showing and one with the ball missing. Shout out to Stukes
Duke.
Collectibles and Curiosities, who has amazing tutorials on exhibit cards.
yeah, so is that looks like the way that the image is cropped is the difference?
Yeah, I guess that's
Um,
that's the case. I think there's also like kind of different color variations too, like brown.
Okay.
And
Yeah, and like a sepia maybe or something. It's
Yeah.
crazy. Different variations.
Yeah, I mean, really,
Yeah.
Stukes has a great thing. And then I'll just go through the exhibits. I got a whole bunch of exhibits here. I'll just show a few more. We got Campy. We got Ralph Branca, Gil Hodges. I mean, these are great images.
Nice.
Exhibit cards are such a great deal. They're so
They are.
awesome.
Yeah, you want to talk about reasonable. Exhibits cards are just exceptionally reasonable.
Yeah, I mean, they're
They're
great.
and they're awesome looking.
And they're awesome images. And then here's this one I paid a little more for. It's the
Yeah, that's cool.
championship. There you go.
Yeah, the exhibits team cards.
Yep. And then let's see. Who should we go to next? What player? Well, we showed Campy. I'll show a few Campies. I mean, what an iconic player. What a tragic ending to his career. But what a icon in Dodger history, and part of all those great Brooklyn teams. And it's really, I forgot to pull it, but I love that card that they have in 59, the tribute card.
In the wheelchair.
Yeah. It's such a great one.
Okay.
But here's you got the 53 tops.
Yeah, that's a great one.
This is, again, I love this set. This set is so great. The 54 Bowman I think with the Dodgers, especially with the blue background and the blue hat, just really pops from a design
kind
perspective.
of an underrated set.
Yeah, I don't know. I love it. And then there's a few Campies.
Nice.
Really nice.
Let's see, what else we got? Well, another iconic player on that team, of course, was Gil Hodges. So we've got rookie card.
Rookie.
Yep.
That's beauty.
And we've got here was 54 tops.
Wow.
And here's 52 Bowman. And then here's one of the cards I really like this card because it's very rare, and there are not a lot of these around. The 1952 Tip Top Bread.
Oh, that's a good one.
I don't know if it's really a card. It's like more like a label.
Yeah, but that's still cool.
But this is so trashed. Like, it's just like
that's all right.
But
you just don't see it. I mean, when you do
they gave it a. Sorry, Jay.
No, go ahead.
They gave it a 1MC miscut.
Miscut.
I don't know how. I guess because part of it was chopped off. I guess I don't know.
Okay, that makes sense. I guess
something like that. And then let's see. Okay, well we've got this card is awesome. You all seen this one? This is the Dodger Sluggers.
Good one.
But that's a good segue into the next guy. I'll share. I can't share. I've got too many cards here, but I'll share a few for Duke Snyder. Now he's one I'm really working on his run, and I'm missing 5 cards from it. But I got his rookie card here.
Nice.
And then I got his second year card here. I love these cards from the the 50s. They're so cool.
Yeah, those early Bowman sets are really spot on. I love them.
And then let's see, I'll just share. Oh yeah, here's the 53 Bowman.
You're right. That background with the blue Dodgers.
Yeah, and the 54 Bowman. These guys go together.
Yeah.
I feel.
Yeah, those are two great looking cards.
And then I don't have a lot of really high grade, super high grade cards, but I do have this one. It's an 8.
8. Wow.
And then this is a card from childhood. I got this card, and when Beckett was starting to grade, I got it graded. And that was this 61. So this has sentimental value.
Wow. That's super clean, man. That is.
Yeah, it is back when they had subgrades on vintage.
Oh,
I
right.
love subgrades. I wish that there was a company out there that still did them. I did enjoy when there were subgrades.
Totally. And they were, I feel like Beckett was a lot stricter with their grading early on with vintage. So I think that when I look at the older vintage Beckett's, they seem a lot like cleaner than the ones that are graded more recently.
Yeah.
Well, especially with those subgrades with buying online, gives you a better idea of the condition of the card.
Definitely.
Rather than just guessing from 2 pictures, it's actually saying, okay, this one has some corner issues or whatever that might be.
For sure. I'll just show a couple other guys who are like iconic from this era. Of course, Don Newcomb, who has some terrific years.
Really nice.
Nice.
And then we also have
a high grade for a 55. That's really sharp.
Yeah,
looking.
I got a great deal on that one. Very lucky to have it. And then Johnny Padres. This is another childhood card that I got graded when I was testing out SGC. Of course, he had another guy who had just a great career with the Dodgers, Carl Furillo. Here's his rookie card.
Yep. That's a good looking card.
Yeah, fortunately, it's got a crease in it, but it presents really well. Yeah. And here's another one. These are just all the 50s we're doing here. And then, of course, one guy who we have to mention, who was in the 50s, iconic all-time Dodger, but not really as a player, but Tom Lasorda.
Sort of.
Yeah.
And then, of course, when you talk about Tom Lasorda, you got to talk about Sandy Koufax, because Lasorda leaving made room for Koufax to come in. So I'm not going to show all my Koufax cards, but here's his rookie.
Nice rookie.
Instead, I'll show a couple just sort of more like different ones, I guess. Here's a leader's card. This is like one of my highest grade cards in my collection. This is a 9.
Wow.
That's a beauty.
Wow. Did you buy that graded, or did you send it in?
I bought it graded. No, I didn't.
Oh.
I wasn't that lucky to do it. That would have been rad. He's got post serial cards.
Yeah.
We got Venezuela cards. Here's the 66 regular, 66 Venezuela. And Koufax for me was like, he was the guy, like when I was growing up in LA, like he was the icon. I'm Jewish, what he did on like Yom Kippur, and his, him being like one of the few Jewish ball players, was like, he was like, I couldn't collect his cards because they were too expensive for the most part. So I collected Don Drysdale as an alternative, but he was always the one who was like the most sought after, for me. And then there's also Venezuela.
That's a really good Venezuelan right there.
It is.
And then here's just a couple other random Koufax cards. Here's a bazooka panel.
Cool.
That is
Frank
so
Robinson. Cool. And I like these. This set is awesome too. And Koufax, he had a short career, but he shined so bright and had just so dominant. And this, of course, is one of my favorite cards because it's got Koufax, Drysdale, and Padres on it together. We'll just mention 2 more players from this era, and then I'll stop talking. I feel like I've been yammering on and on.
No, you're doing great.
You're good.
Well, one is the guy I just mentioned, who wait, where did I put them all? I just took a whole stack of them and put them somewhere. Oh, here they are. This was the guy I collected the hardest growing up, and that's Don Drysdale. This is his rookie. It's a 3, but I'm never going to upgrade it because this was a gift from my parents for Hanukkah when they knew this is the one I needed to complete my run. So
that's awesome.
We got the 64 stand-up, which again, another great set, and I still need a bunch from that set.
Underrated set.
Totally. We got the 62 tops, which I'm working on completing the Dodgers team set from that one. We got 62 Bell brand. There's a lot of like niche Dodger issues. There's like Bell brand. There's Morel Meats.
Yep.
I don't have much of these at all. Who's got an amazing collection is Rick Acosta, Dodger card collector. Definitely check out his channel. He's got a collection that puts mine to shame. It's just an amazing collection.
We'll go ahead. We'll link his channel in the description when we put this out.
Yeah,
we'll link that.
And here's Venny and regular really for 67. And then one other player I'm going to mention is who should be mentioned in the 60s for sure, 50s and 60s for sure, is Jim Gilliam.
Doesn't get enough love.
I love the color on this, like the Bob Gibson.
Yeah.
And then the last person to mention from this era that I may have mentioned a couple of, but of course the manager, Walt Alston. Again, one of my highest graded vintage cards is a 9. All right, that's the only 2 I have. All right, now I'm gonna shut up about the 50s and the 60s.
Rusty, what do you got from the 50s and 60s?
Yeah. So let's see here. I'll go through a few here. Mark, did you still have some 60s stuff you want to go through?
Just a couple. I'll just show a couple more. We got Don Sutton.
Here. Yeah, here I'll switch it. I'll switch it
Yeah,
back.
I'll just
There we
mention
go.
Don Sutton. He was obviously a Hall of Fame pitcher. He pitched for many
Yep.
years for the Dodgers before he went over to the Brewers. Frank Howard was a very solid player. Yeah, I guess that's all I'm gonna show. I've done enough.
Okay. All right. I have, let's see, one that I didn't see. There's the 54
Oh,
Nice.
jacket.
beauty!
Nice.
So
You can get some great deals in those CGC slabs.
I know. And I looked up this card recently just to see what this thing was, what the card's worth basically now, no matter what the slab is. And I think it's gone up. I think it's gone up a little bit compared to when I bought that. So let's see. There's a 56 Duke. I don't think you
Nice.
showed that one.
No, I didn't. Love that card.
There's
Oh,
56
nice.
Kovac.
that's such a great example you got.
Yeah, I was thrilled to find that one at the Dallas Card Show earlier this year, and there's a 61 Drysdale, same image as that 62 you showed.
Yep.
The others you've already shown. So Jay, what do you have?
I've got a couple of things. I've got let's see. So I've got Pee Wee Reese and the Red Man
Oh,
tab on it.
Cool.
nice.
And I've got the Duke, which is a little beat up, but I still really like that one. I love the Red Man. You guys know I love the Red Man sets. I have the 55 golden stamps. There's a Duke Snyder. Or
Oh,
no.
sweet.
Yeah, there is Duke Snyder.
Yeah. Don't have that one yet.
And Pee Wee Reese.
Those
And
are cool.
Gil Hodges. I got those at my local shop, and I want to say I didn't pay more than $7 for each of them. So it was a smoking deal.
Yeah, I only got one. Oh, that's nice.
Yep. There I got this at Strongsville this year, which I was really happy to find that. And then just a couple more. I've got this I bought raw. This was one of the first vintage cards that I bought. I bought it raw and it is beat to hell. And I really thought it was just going to get an authentic, but it did get a 1. It was one of the few cards I've sent in to get graded. I don't really send too many in, but that was Duke Snyder. For what I paid for it raw, I couldn't really send it.
That's a high number too.
Yeah. Last card in the set, I think. And then you showed that one. There's this
Nice.
I bought from Sammy Thunder at Strongsville. And then the only other ones I have are this Koufax here, which I think Rusty's version is a lot nicer than mine. And
his version is nicer than mine too.
I'm jumping to 64 again, but then that Koufax right there.
I love that one.
Yeah.
That's one of his best cards.
Yeah.
That's an awesome one.
So that's pretty much that is my 50s, 60s Dodgers. I don't think I have anything pulled out 70s or 80s. But I do have one for the end. If we end up getting into modern, I actually have pulled a modern card.
You should definitely show it.
All right.
Those golden stamps are really cool. I only have like one of them.
The guy that at the shop must have come across a bunch. He had a whole slew of them, and I only bought just those 3. And then when I went back, they were all gone.
Well, while we're on the, I only have one of them. I actually, Paul over at Fast Break and Breakfast sent me the Tom Lasorda in a holiday card, which is super nice.
Wow.
And maybe I'll give you his thing. You could put in he's also a Dodger fan.
Right. Yeah, we can drop that in the description.
Awesome.
I'll show a couple things that aren't cards from this era. We've got 76 was a sponsor of the Dodgers. This Tommy Davis. These are like little booklets that they passed out.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
This is a photo pack. Photo pack cards. Not really cards, but these things.
Yep.
And this is interesting because this is Maury Wills, and he didn't have, there's no Topps cards for him until like, way later on. That 63 Fleer is like really kind of his, I guess, early collectible card. But these are photo pack from like the early 60s. And here you get a Maury Wills, John Roseboro. These are kind of cool images.
Yeah. I really, there's, I'm trying to think, is it maybe Cardboard Coach Neil talks about those a lot, and they are cool.
They're cool and also affordable.
Yes.
Of course, you got to say, shout out to your guy who you had on last time, Jason, everyday card collector, loves his Aurora Vision. So here's this one. And then I got some. I'll show a few right now. I've got some yearbooks. These are all from when I was a kid. When I was a kid, I loved these yearbooks, and I bought them at the card store whenever they were available. And this is the 1964 yearbook that shows the 63 championship. It's like it's beat to hell. It's totally thrashed, but it's pretty awesome.
That's awesome.
This is something I got, I think, when I was in my 20s. This is the program from the Twins versus Dodgers from the 65 World Series.
Wow.
And then some of these, I'll wait till we do this, move into the 70s in a sec, but here's the 66. The images in these things are so cool.
Oh, yeah.
And then you also get to, see all these great, pictures within them and everything. And I don't think these yearbooks cost that much, really.
Oh, they're fantastic.
And then I'll just pull them out right now. All right, here we go. 1970. What is it? This is 69.
That's cool.
Yeah. These images are so rad.
Yeah.
70.
Oh, that is awesome.
71. This was the 10th anniversary. You can see, and this is really neat because if you look closely at the writing, they have all the names.
All the names. Players. Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, I see Sandy Koufax there.
Yeah, which is really, really rad. Then I got a few random ones, 72.
And you bought these while you were growing up, or you collected these throughout the year?
This is all while I was growing up.
Wow.
Yeah. This is the kind of stuff that I was interested in.
That's really cool.
I did a lot of like selling when I was a kid. I bought lots of packs, opened the packs, took the cards out and sold them.
Wow.
And used the money to pay for this kind of stuff.
Yeah, you were on it. You were ahead of the rest of us that were just rolling, eventually just.
I still have plenty of junk wax stuff. This 80 one is cool because it's got all the cards on it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
And then I'll just show a couple more of these. This one is just like so iconic Los Angeles. Like you can't get any more LA than that picture. That's Bill Russell, Fernando, and Pedro Guerrero.
Yeah.
And then this one is really cool. This is celebrating Dodgers Stadium's 25th anniversary. And on it, they have pictures of all the yearbook covers. So I kind of use this as like a checklist. Almost.
That's awesome.
Right.
So
how many would you say you have? I mean, as far as that goes, is there a bunch of years?
Yeah, that's what I have. I mean, I showed you what I have.
Yeah.
So I'm missing a ton of years. But I just think they're super cool. You can
those are awesome.
And, I really loved collecting those as a kid. Now the 70s, I'll just show a few cards from the 70s. Dodgers had some great teams in the 70s. The Dodgers, you pointed out how many pennants they won, and they only won 8 World Series. That's a terrible record. They're absolutely terrible in the World Series, considering how many times they made it. So anyway, the cornerstone of the Dodgers in the 70s was the amazing infield of Steve Garvey, Davey Lopes, Bill Russell, and Ron Cey. And so I'll just show those guys. Here's Davey Lopes' rookie card. Here's Bill Russell's rookie card. Here's Ron Cey. Now, this is a high number, and so it's a little tougher. Also, note the 1973 Mike Schmidt that he's on is not his rookie card. 72.
I didn't realize. I don't think I realized that.
Yeah,
that's not his actual.
I prefer to think of the Mike Schmidt rookie as the Ron Cey second year card, but people think of it differently. And then we've got Steve Garvey.
Yeah, that's a good card.
Now I mentioned the Ron Say second year card, which is here you go.
Yeah,
But
I have that one upstairs. I didn't bring that one down.
there's 4 Dodger rookie cards in the 60s and 70s that are Dodger cards that are incredibly expensive just because they're on cards with other people that are great players. So one of them obviously is Mike Schmidt's rookie.
Yep.
Obviously Mike Schmidt, one of the probably maybe the best third baseman ever. Definitely in the conversation, if not. Also, the iconic Ken McMullen rookie card. Now, Ken McMullen not only is famous for being on Pete Rose's rookie card, but he also played a few years in the 70s, which is why I can include him here. Of course, everybody knows about Don Baylor and Dusty Baker, but who remembers Tom Paciorek on the Dodgers right there? Of course, Dusty Baker played several years with the Dodgers also, and was a key part of their teams in the 1970s. And then there's another one, which I still need, which is Bob Uecker from 1962. Also has a Dodger on there who would be a common, except for the fact that he's on Bob Uecker. So, but yeah, here's a couple other players that were, kind of Hall of Famers that just had short stints with the Dodgers in the 70s. Of course, recently inducted
Dick Allen.
Yeah. And then Frank Robinson. There's also, he's on the 73 card, but it shows him, I think, on the Angels. And Hoyt Wilhelm.
Yeah, the 72s are one of my favorite sets from that period.
Yeah, they're a lot of fun. So that's my stuff from the 70s. Anybody have any 70s stuff that you want to show?
I don't think I have any 70s.
No.
Right, then we'll go to my favorite decade for being a Dodger fan, which is the 1980s. Yes. So, so we got Fernando. I mean, I have his 1981 Topps rookie card, but this is one I would prefer to show. This is his 1981 LA Police rookie card. I got all the police sets from the 1980s.
That's awesome.
They actually, I got some of. I wasn't collecting in 1981, so I got this later. But this is
that's really cool.
And then I got several of these kind of police issue sets. They're really cool. They show like all the the top players from the Tom Lasorda, Steve Garvey. You got everybody there. Let's see. Then I also have some of these. Okay, the worst trade that the Dodgers ever made. You know which one it is?
I don't think I do.
Do you remember? Do you remember this this player named Delino DeShields?
Yes.
Okay. Well, the Dodgers thought he was so good that they decided to trade this guy for him.
Okay.
Yeah.
It didn't work out.
Didn't work out. So these are minor league cards for Pedro Martinez in the Dodger minor league system.
Wow.
So anyway,
speaking of minor leagues, I don't have any. Here, I'm going to take the stage for just a second.
Yeah.
I don't have any Dodgers gear, but I do have my Tulsa Drillers shirt on, which is the AA affiliate. So had to represent a little bit.
Nice.
Sorry, Mark. I stayed true and wore my Houston Astros.
Yeah,
shirt.
I would expect nothing less, Jay. I'd expect nothing less. So I got a few more minor league cards. Dave Stewart, who obviously was a massive talent with the Oakland A's, was a relief pitcher for the Dodgers before he went over to the A's. And then Mike Scioscia, who of course managed the Angels, was also a key part of the Dodgers teams in the 80s. And then we're getting real modern here. Oh, we've got Oral Hershiser.
Oral, he was born in Buffalo. He's born in my neck of the woods.
Oh, yeah, nice. Now he's an announcer for the Dodgers now. And Mike Piazza.
Gotta like Mike.
So you picked up a big collection of those minor league cards.
Yeah.
Is that where a lot of those came from?
That's where all of them came from.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then there was also this one, my Sandy Koufax coach card.
That is cool.
Aaron at Value Vintage turned me on to this.
That is really cool.
And then I'll just share one last thing, which I don't know if I've told you all this story, but I've told this story on my channel before. But Did I tell you guys about my ticket, my World Series ticket from 1988? Do you know about this?
Did you put it on your channel or
Okay.
did you?
I don't know. It was a while ago. So I have a signed 1988 World Series Game 1 ticket where Kirk Gibson hit the home run,
Wow,
signed by Kirk Gibson and Dennis Eckersley,
that
Yeah.
is phenomenal.
which is the coolest
That
thing I
is
have in my
that is
collection.
cool.
That
All
is
right.
phenomenal.
Now I got to tell you how I got this.
All right.
So in 1988, my uncle called into a radio station, and they were giving away 2 tickets to the World Series. And the contest was you had to stump the host, and if you could stump the host with a trivia question and they liked your question, they give you the 2 tickets. So he used a question that I told him, and I knew about this question because I collected players because of their names. I had like players that had food in their names, players that had colors in their names, players that had professions in their names, and of course I had another little stack for players with body parts in their names, like Raleigh Fingers or Barry Foot or whatever. Of course, Dick Pole.
Right.
But the question that he asked that I gave him was, which player has the most body parts in their name? Do you know?
I think I heard this on your channel, but I did not remember what
The
it
answer
is.
is Tony Armass. He's got four body parts in his name. You can't beat that. So anyway, he told it
Wow.
he won the tickets. Okay, but he didn't tell me about it, and he didn't take me. he took his father-in-law. I was at my friend's house. We went bananas watching it on TV, and he tells me about this like 10, 15 years later, and I was like, "What the hell? Why didn't you take me? You got there because of my question." So I keep giving a hard time about it, and then like at my kid's bar mitzvah, he comes up, he gives me an envelope. He says, "I got you a present," and he like saved the ticket stub and gave it to me. And I was
Wow.
like, thought he was just sort of pour salt in the wound. It's like you don't take me, and then you give me this ticket stub. What the heck? But then I realized it's actually like got some value, and he kept it in pretty good condition.
Yeah.
So then at the National 3 years ago, my brother went, and I couldn't make it, but I gave the ticket to my brother, and he went and got Kirk Gibson to sign it. And then last year or 2 years ago, he got Kirk, and then last year I got Dennis Eckersley to sign it. So that's how I ended
Wow.
up with this.
Yeah.
And then I dropped it at PSA right away. So
That's unbelievable.
That's
That is
that's an
so
awesome
cool.
piece.
that's a favorite thing in my collection. So that's
That
what I
is
got for you. Whoops.
Jay, what do you have as far as let's see, 80s?
80s, nothing.
Yeah.
I skip right into like modern, like not like
Okay.
ultra modern, but like within the last like 10 years.
I want to see what you got.
So I actually pulled this
Yeah,
card.
go ahead.
I pulled this card from a pack and I didn't know what it was. I had no idea what it was. So as I started, I don't know why all of a sudden I had realized that maybe I should look through this cards. It was 2018 Topps. That was a year that they did an absurd amount of variations for the cards, and some of the players like Ortiz had like a lot of variations, and I wasn't aware of it. But once I became aware of it, I started to go through, and there's a serial number on the back of every card. And so it's real tiny. And I went through every card and until I found like if something was different. Well, lo and behold, I find one that's different. And I'm like, oh, I got one. This is not the short print. This was the super short print of Clayton Kershaw. Pulled it out of a pack and I sent it in like 2 years later. And this was my first submission to PSA and
Oh,
it came
wow.
back a 10. And there's only at the
Wow.
time that I got this back, this was a pop one. Now I think there's like 12 in existence. And the crazy thing is that the tens, there's more tens than there are of anything else. So I'm not sure why that grades at 10 as often as it does. But I thought that
High
that
gem
was,
rate.
yeah, like I just thought it was a cool card. It's just just a cool card. And a guy that I honestly, it's hard not to like that guy. You know what I mean? Like it's for a while, there was this rivalry between the Astros and Dodgers for a bit. And I never really used to mind the Dodgers, but Clayton Kershaw, he's one of those guys that the guy's a gamer and he's been around for a long time and he's a super nice guy. And you
Well,
know,
I love when a player stays with the team.
Yeah.
And like we
Right.
don't really get that much anymore, with the
Well,
way that free agency is and everything, and
yep.
players bouncing around and teams getting rid of players and whatnot. But it's just like been so great to like see him pitch his whole career with the Dodgers and get his 3,000 strikeouts, and
Yep.
that's an awesome card, Jay.
Thank you. That was really the only other one that I had pulled out for tonight. Rusty, what do you got?
So I pulled this one. So let's see, 80, 85.
yeah.
Love that.
Yeah. Clear. Yeah. And let's see, a few from the 90s. I just think that's just a cool rated rookie of Piazza.
Nice.
Mhm. He was one of my favorites growing up. Really liked him.
I love his story too, because he was like, really like poor draft number, barely got in, and then he just like really worked and made it.
That's a cool one. I like that gold signature at the bottom. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, this is not actually, it says rookie star, but this is I think it's a 94. So
Yeah.
not one of his earliest cards, but a cool one nonetheless. Couple of Pedro rookies.
Oh,
Yep.
nice.
Oh, there we go. And the only other card I pulled, just because it's cool, I just really like these upper deck.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't know what they call those, but I just think they are sweet looking cards.
Yeah. Those are
Fernando.
cool.
That is cool.
I think Nolan Ryan's was like that. There were a few in that set that were like that.
Yeah. There are several of those. When I'm flipping through some of my junk wax stuff, I mean, those always just stand out to me.
Yeah.
They're not worth anything, but
right.
they're
Now,
cool.
Mark, do you go to a lot of games? Do you?
I probably go to like maybe 1 or 2 Dodger games a year. My folks are in LA, so we went down there earlier this year and went to a game. Probably that's going to be it for this year. I wanted to go when they were playing the Giants, but then the tickets are just so crazy expensive. Like we didn't check until like a few days before, and they were like the cheapest seats were already over $100, and we're like, we're not going to do that.
Right.
Wow.
But I have I got the MLB package, so I can watch the
Same
games. Just 2 other items I'll just share real quick.
here. Yeah.
This is also from the 1988. This was like the best childhood moment, the 1988 Kirk Gibson World Series. So I got this. This is the World Series official program. And then the 1989 Dodgers yearbook is cool because it's got their 88 World Series trophy on the cover of it. So
super cool.
That was the end of my program and yearbook collection.
Awesome. Well, this was good. This was awesome. This was a lot of fun. You had some amazing stuff.
No, thanks for having me on. It's just really an honor to be invited, and great to talk with you all about the Dodgers and be able to kind of share a little of my stuff and see some of yours, and just talk Dodgers.
Pretty cool that you were able to coordinate 3 different time zones.
Right. It can get tricky, but definitely appreciate you joining. This was a lot of fun, and I knew you had an amazing Dodgers collection, so it was a lot of fun to see it. So are we good? Is that a wrap for this episode?
Yeah, we'll link your channel in the description, plus the other channels that you had mentioned. And we really appreciate you coming on, and we appreciate everybody for watching.
Thanks for putting this together, fellas.
Thanks,
Absolutely.
Mark.
Thanks, guys. We'll have another episode coming out soon. We don't exactly have that one lined out, but we'll get to work on that and pick a new team. So we'll see you guys soon.
All right.